Welcome to another week of Ether Raids. We are starting off against... What am I saying? This is another day. Our Japanese opponent here, maybe Korean, I don't know. But the plan here is to go in with Marth and try to figure this one out because I don't think I have a team that can effectively deal with this because of the trap placements. Again, the traps. They're actually, good sometimes, depending on the person who's building the defense. But in this particular circumstance, we can't really do much, or I can't really do much because of how the traps are positioned in terms of like a melee type of attack. And then even if I did, not really getting too far in. So we're going to try to tank this with Marth, even though I don't think this is going to go very well because this guy is here. I mean, it's not dark season. Why are you here? But then also, I guess if he's winning you matches, then, why not throw him in? It's very peculiar, the current state of defense, because it's the high threat range is kind of going to the wayside, I feel. In preference of this type of bulk. Here we got the Neathhogger here, plus 10 with Hardy Bearing, who's supposed to be able to counter Marth. So we're going to see how that one goes. Really, that's the only option I have with my current team setup. I was thinking of going with Sita, but then luckily I remembered that Marth neutralizes armor effective damage, so Sita wouldn't have been able to do very much here. And yeah, that plan would not have worked. And then Lynn is not breaking through this. Neither is Crom. So the only hope would have been Camilla, but then how do I get her in is the question. So we're going to have to try to tank this with Marth. Hopefully he can do enough damage here to make it work, and hopefully he can survive against Neathhogger here with Basilica Ring. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out, being the Hardy Baron is there, but I think we have enough buffs, and Sedith is here as well. So, let's put Dual Marth up front, see what he can do, and then take it from there. That is essentially the plan. I don't know. Let's see what turn 2 has to offer afterwards. And luckily, the defenses are not the worst on this season because the support units, Ectonir, Jim Bro in particular, is very, very bulky. So he has a ton of defense. So it's not too hard to plan around. All I gotta do is pretty much just throw Marthy in here. I think he should be guaranteed to have the lowest defense. So I'm gonna put him up there. And he should soak the assigned decoy. And then I just gotta keep Sedith away. And I gotta move Brave Marth away as well. And then we gotta see how it all pans out. 3 spaces is gonna be available here. That's how Dual Marth weapon works, I suppose. And yeah, we're just gonna watch the action, watch what happens. I don't even know if this is like a good defense, but then I guess the beard requirement is just winning. So I guess that's good enough. Yeah, I guess that's good enough. Here comes the Neathhogger. I don't think she's going to take us out since it's not a brave hit. That is a substantial amount of damage. But the question is, do we get the kill here? And the answer is no. We don't do enough damage. Yeah, this is nowhere near enough damage. And I positioned it really well so that we could get rid of this Dual Marth. This one in particular, who would have taken advantage of the Hathern Divine Nectar. The other one was the scary one. He's the one with the speed. This one, well, not necessarily speed. He's the one that hits 5 times. This one is just the extra. The only one that can take advantage of the positional swap. And I knew we would have wanted a speed check there. My concern is now, how do I get through this? This is the problem. Neathhogger here is the problem. If she didn't have the Celica Ring, I think we could, try to run away a little bit, but yeah, as you can see here, not able to get through. And not a lot of damage output, or not enough. I don't think there's any way we could have gotten enough damage output to be able to break through her. With the teams that I have, I don't think it's really the neutralizing armor effectiveness. That's causing the big problem, because then I could have just used the Sita team, who Sita would not have gotten outsped, so that would have been, you know, perfectly fine, and then I would have had Veil support. But yeah, I don't know, maybe I can break the Divine Nectar and then see if Marth can do some more damage. I don't know. But everyone is dying on the retaliation here. Yes. It is not going well, as you can see. Yeah, I'm pretty much out of ideas here. I mean, aside from what I initially said, which was to break the Divine Nectar, don't know what else we can do after that. If Marth is not able to take out Neathhogger, and then also taking out Neathhogger is one thing, but then I have zero plan for this Marth that is behind her. As you can see, no range units on this team. I do have Alm in the secret hole, but that's not until turn 3, which I feel like is just too late, man. It's I would really benefit more from having it right now, but that's just not how it goes right now. Yeah, still nothing here, man. This is not looking good. Really, the problem is I'm just dying on retaliation, and I think I'm gonna have to go with Jimbro since he's the only one who survives, which is crazy. Like he used to, like when he came out, he was like insane, but he's already, you know, a couple of months down the line, and he's dying to. Well, that being said, Neathhogger is still a terrific unit, still very powerful. I think top 3 armored units in the game. So I guess this is not like the worst matchup to lose, even though it's kind of a draw with the support that I have.
Muscle is power.
Yeah, let's see what this is going to be like after we get rid of the Divine Nectar. Granted, she's still going to heal, but she won't have that additional 10 damage reduction. Yeah, Marthy's still dying, and Marthy's still... It's a chip damage, okay. Yeah, it's the chip damage. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work out. I think we got to call it here, man. This looks like the end. GG's, man. You won this one. But let's get out of here. Alright, that was a tough match. I don't even know if that's how his defense was supposed to work, but then looking at it in terms of the fact that all of his armored units came down the middle right there, I think he probably had it lined up for them to do that. So definitely a well-built defense in that regards. I think we should be able to bounce back here with this one. We got the Lin team here. I mean, the Tana team here, and the plan is basically to target Ather on that mountain terrain with what's her face, Camilla, and then we're gonna get up there and take care of business. But yeah, defenses are getting bulkier, which is insane because they're already so bulky because of Ather, and we're just adding more and more bulk to them with the armored units of all things. Range units have become like non-existent at this point, and I can't even see, you know, how we change that moving forward. Yeah, it's definitely, the meta is moving in an interesting direction, and I'm not quite sure how we're going to cope with all this bulk that we have moving forward. But for this match, we should be good. What we're going to do, as I mentioned, is wait until turn 3 to see how things pan out. I don't think there's going to be any movement here. It's pretty much what you see is what you get. There's no surprises here. So we just need to stay where we are. We're outside of the range of pretty much everyone here. And I'm just going to set it up so that Camilla can pop out and be in position to strike on turn 3. And we'll get going as of turn 3. Again, it sucks to have to wait 3 turns just to, you know, attack, but I guess it's kind of the same situation as if you were to run the bow tower, so I guess not much is really that different, but I think they're going to push it to turn 2 at some point to get the surprise unit out, probably with a new mythic that allows it to summon on the second turn. I don't know how it'll work, but I do see something like that happening, or an upgrade to the summoning circle, whichever comes first. So, okay. So, like I said, we're gonna wait a couple turns and get up there. In the meantime, do I got anything? You know what I want to talk about? Football, not American football, because that's egg ball, handball. That's something else. Actual football. PSG versus Inter Milan was a fantastic final of the Champions League. In terms of how well PSG played, you may not know anything about football. You also may not care, so you might probably not want to listen to this part. But I'm going to talk about it for a little bit. Yeah, it was a fantastic match. We went into okay, so the season started. PSG played horribly for like the first 2 months, I want to say, for the group stages of the Champions League, and then they just hit this rich vein of form around December, and they just they leveled up, and they have not dropped that level since then. They have played some phenomenal football the entire season, and they're definitely deserved champions. The big match that I was like, this could go either way, was them against Liverpool. And they destroyed, they dismantled Liverpool. And Liverpool was also really on form. It was like Gaara versus Naruto. And I wasn't sure who was going to win. And then Naruto came out on top. Naruto being PSG, of course. And they went on to win from there, because they really are just so good in terms of the talent that they have available to them. A lot of talented 19 and 20-year-olds, 22, 23, and a couple of veteran players that are just doing a fantastic job this season. It is to be said. And it's very interesting because the previous seasons, it could be said that they had more renowned players, more world-class players that were just big stars, but they were never able to win the Champions League because of the fact that they just weren't a team. And it is a team sport. You can have fantastic individual players, but it's very much a team sport. You need everyone out there to give 110% in terms of both sides of the ball, attacking and defending. And that just wasn't existent when they had some of their star players out there on the pitch. And since, a few of these star players have left, the coach has put in a shift with just getting the youngsters up to task. And I'm pretty sure they all benefited as well from, playing with these star players and being around talent like that. When you're around someone that is just that much better than you, it really motivates you to be better. And as a kid, as a teenager as well, I'm sure they would have picked up a lot from watching these professional stars play. Hopefully more good than bad, because there was some bad in there. And it's really showing profit now. They are, I definitely want to say, the best team in the world right now. Second would probably be Barcelona. And then Liverpool would be third. I would take Barcelona over Liverpool. That Lamine Yamal guy, that kid is 17, 18, somewhere around there, and he is definitely on class, on form to win the Ballon d'Or. Most of you might not know what I'm talking about. It's a prestigious award in football that's given out to whoever they vote on as the best for that particular year, and it's going to go to a kid this year. It's a men's game, and it's going to go to a teenager this year. That's how good he has been. That's just my prediction. There's a few other candidates in the running, but I definitely think the kid is going to get it because he has been fantastic as a 17-year-old in a man's game. People play up till 40, and it's going to, I think, a 17-year-old. At least that's my prediction. But yeah, this is a phenomenal performance from PSG in terms of winning. Didn't watch all of the match, but from what I saw, they destroyed Inter Milan, who is typically a very well organized team. They're usually very defensive and have, clinical strikers, but they just got overran in the midfield by young kids, I want to say, but that's really not it. It's really just when you're playing someone that's that on form or that in sync with everything that's going on in their team, it just you could see the difference in level. They were just on firing on all cylinders. It's like you to have 11 people share the same brain. That's pretty much what was going on, and everything was well organized and synchronized, and it was just flying by so quickly. I think they scored like 5 or 6 goals, 4 or 5 goals, something ridiculous. 0 goals conceded. It was just a complete blowout. We haven't had a blowout like that in a while, so big shout outs to them. That's just some side commentary for you. This match is pretty much almost over. I did want to point out one thing here. I'm gonna have to leave this Neathogger for last because I want to make sure that I clean out the top here, the top set of units, and we're gonna figure out what to do with that Neathogger afterwards. It was either take her out or miss one of my Gale Force procs. So I decided to leave her with the Celica ring over there. She won't be able to reach anyone since everyone is going to be up at the top. So let's just try to wrap this up. It was a really interesting placement of the summoning circle for this particular one. I want to say it's not the most optimal use, I want to say, since Neathogger doesn't get the full benefits of all of her effects when she pops up over there by herself. Not the first time I've seen it, of course, but then also it wouldn't have mattered if I didn't have to wait until turn 3 to get Camilla up here, and I really thought that I gave her Gale Force, but apparently it's no quarter, which worked out in my benefit in the end because I kind of did need that extra firepower to take out Rhea, I believe, because not enough stuff was going on to get the full effects out of Camilla's weapon, or to get more damage out of Camilla's weapon. But yeah, not the greatest placement of the Neathogger, I want to say, because most teams would have been able to probably, take her out. The follow-up in terms of what would have happened after would have been interesting, though, with the rest of the defense, because then if you take her out, or if you attack her, or if you just stay there and she attacks you, the rest of the defense is going to move. So that would have been interesting to see if it were to come to that. But we're clearing out everything here. My God, Athos, it's not even his bonus season. A very tanky old man. He is buff. Maybe they should do like a young version of Athos, and he's like ripped, or maybe just a summer version of Athos, and you see him ripped with abs. That would be hilarious, because I'm pretty sure he's got some abs underneath that beard, some abs on his chin too. He is pretty jacked. But yeah, the placement of the Neathogger here, as you can see, we can avoid her completely until the following turn, which is the plan. And then, I don't know, someone hopefully can take her out. We got enough units. Crom will more than likely be able to, with Layla inflicting the flash effect, since she's the only other unit on the map. It's going to work out in my favor. What was interesting, though, is the fact that the circle being down there, since Camilla popped up, the circle being there, I wasn't able to go up with Camilla because Camilla warps to the terrain effect, and the terrain effect was down here. So that was actually pretty interesting, and it's something that you can probably take into consideration when building your defense against someone like Camilla, or maybe someone else in the future that has a similar effect. But I don't believe they're going to give out too many more pass effects, because it's honestly just been so annoying having, I don't know, maybe it won't be 6 ranges, but then why introduce it if it's not going to be that much? So I don't know. I don't think they're going to be too many more of them, because honestly, man, it is really the most annoying thing to deal with. I don't know why they wanted to, or decided to increase the threat range. It just wasn't necessary so quickly, so many units so quickly at that. They definitely could have held off on it for a little bit longer. Or just not do it at all, but also Celica did the thing, so I guess more people had to follow and pick up suit. But there we go, man. Crown took care of business. GG's. Let's get out of here. All right, let's try to win one more match for today. This is the double day, as of course. So far, not the greatest, but we got to keep going. Here we go. We got a match here. Really wasn't quite sure how to approach this one, so decided to go with the Marthy team. Problem here is Sigurd and the AoE. The Sita team would have done okay. The problem is Sita does not win against the Solir. and no one on that Sita team would have been able to take out this Ather, so it didn't make sense to bring that team. And then getting hit with the AoE means that my Neathhogger probably would have died to very nice for Mortis here. Yeah, my Neathhogger probably would have died to Becky, so it really wasn't the best situation to bring that particular team, which is typically what I do against Sigurd, but I don't actually have any teams that have Breath of Life equipped in this entire season, which is something that I just noticed when I ran into this match. I was like, oh, you know, it'd probably be for the best to have some Breath of Life. And then also this guy is here for whatever reason. I don't know why everyone is doing this. Oh, it's only 2 now, but why? But again, I guess if it wins you matches, then sure, why not? Go ahead. Tree Man, of course. So yeah, decided to go with this team. It just makes the most sense. I think it's probably going to be optimal at some point for me to incorporate Breath of Life somewhere on one of these teams, or bring AoE protection, which I could have done. How many? I got 5 teams, and they're all pretty much. This Marth team is unique because of the Vantage. The Sita team is really just a strong Omni tank. I guess that's the one that probably needs the AoE protection more than any of the others, because the last 3 teams are all Gale Force teams. Probably too many. Well, the Lin team, and I guess the other 2 are Gale Force team, and I guess I could probably scrap one of them and bring a team that has more AoE protection, because I'm not sure if Marthy's going to be able to do this. I don't know, maybe I should bring a team.
A new step.
Okay, where are we? I'm trying to think of like a unit that I could potentially just buff all the way up. Just buff all the way up and put them out there, and then build a team around that one unit. It would essentially be another Omni Tank team. If I could just do a revision the Sita team, drop Neathhogger, give Sita distant counter, which is the reason that I have Neathhogger on that team, since Sita doesn't have distant counter.
I believe in you.
I don't know. I have some things to think about to help me out. But for now, you know, this is going to be the play. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm hoping Marth will be able to take out Sigurd, even though the AoE effect, the AoE will kick him in the nuts. He doesn't have any weapon conditions, to the best of my knowledge, in terms of HP conditions, so he should do the job. But I don't know. Let's see what happens here. And then also Rhea has Hardy Bearing, so it's pretty dicey here.
To a future of
But I don't think Rhea is going to be able to reach nonetheless. So we get Sigurd. Fatal Smoke means we don't heal. Okay.
We will not lose.
Huh?
Humans.
Where are the other 2, or where's the other hit?
Not yet.
Where's the other hit? Why did he only hit 1 time? He doesn't have any HP conditions. Wow. That's unfortunate. Can't take out Rhea. Divine Nectar here. Man, you are just not the greatest, are you? Although that to be said, I guess it's really... This is a really buffed Rhea, and she's hitting Brave, so that's probably something to consider. Look at Rhea quadding. Isn't that insane? Rhea hitting 4 times. That is insane. I'm really surprised that can't break through this Rhea. I think it's probably the Brave. It's turn 3. We have a ton of support here, and he is he's stacked. I'm very surprised that he's not able to do this. I guess he's getting hit with the Brave 2 times, which is something to consider. I guess one sweep doesn't work. Yeah, I think I need to build another team. I'm not taking this anyway because Martha is already dead, so I'm just really surprised that we are unable to stop this Rhea here. This is quite alarming. I guess let's see what happens if I
Lady Embla were here.
get rid of her
Yes?
Brave and the
Speak.
flat damage reduction from Divine Nectar. Let's see what happens then. And very peculiar.
感謝するがよい
Jinro is the only one living anything.
感謝
He's
する
getting
がよ
hit
い
4 times and he's surviving. That is insane. Buff boy, definitely a buff boy. But thankfully we can test this now. Alright, let's see what can Om do. He gets it, okay. So it was the Brave that was killing him. Nothing I can really do about that. If they have the Brave effect,
believe
the
in
Erica ring is very, very good, man. It's really good. Alright, well, we're gonna have to play another one, man. GG's.